Welcome to Mental Millennials with your host, Shelby Friesen.
So last solo episode, I talked about quality time. And I kind of left you hanging a bit with a concept that I've been trying with Kara this last week. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about that and how you can actually decide on something to do. Because I find that all the time with like significant other, friends, anyone, um, even sometimes just with yourself when you're sitting there and you or yourself or friends, and you're just going, well, what do you want to do? And no one can ever decide. You always want to do. I find for me that I almost like always want to do what that person wants to do. And I don't want to talk about I don't want to suggest what I want to do because I don't think they'll want to do it. And you're trying to like cater to that other person. And in reality, especially in a new relationship or friendship, you actually have no clue what that person wants to do. Like, there's no way to know. Even if you're hanging out for 6 months or so, you still just don't really know. So, and if you're both doing that, where I find with Kara and I, that's kind of the case where it's like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And then we'll start looking stuff up on Google, and no one really makes a decision. We just kind of sit around, and then before you know it, you've looked at stuff for an hour, kind of, okay, well, whatever. Maybe we'll just like watch a movie then. And then you kind of always end up doing the same, like boring shit, or you just don't feel fulfilled, like you're actually doing something that you guys care about doing, but that's because you don't really know what that is. So I read this book a few weeks ago called The Five Love Languages, and it's kind of like all about marriage and shit, which I'm not obviously married, but I find that the principles in the book are actually very applicable to any relationship in your life. Doesn't have to even, with a significant other or friends, anyone, family. So, one of the things in this book was an exercise to write down 5 to 10 things that you want to do. So both of you do this. You write these things down, and you write down things that you want to do regardless of that what that person wants to do. Like, forget you even know them. Just say, okay, like, what are some things that I really want to do that are interesting and fun for me? You write those down, and then you each have your list. And then after that, when you hang out or you set time aside, which I talked about in the last episode, like actually book time off. Say, hey, okay, we have this day free. This day we're doing, say this day is Kara's day. So it's whatever she wants off her list for the entire day. And we do that. And this way, like, you're always going to be happy if the person you care about is happy. So if something they want to do, you're still going to be happy because you're happy that they're happy. And then you're learning stuff about them. You get to know what they like. So the first day we did this, she wanted to do some fall stuff. So we went and did the pumpkin patch, and we did some baking. And then we sat by the fire. We got a little fire pit here and sat by that and looked through this cabin book that has like some of the most world-renowned cabins, and there's little stories about them. So that was kind of like, had like a chill day and did that. And that was like last Sunday. So then today actually is my day, and we're going to go do a hike to Elk Mountain. We're going to bring pancake stuff and make pancakes up there. Actually saw someone else do this, so it wasn't fully my idea, but it looked pretty awesome. So we're going to take advantage of the weather today, do that. And then I'd like to do some vision boarding tonight. And that's something that I was always kind of like, well, I don't really just want to like recommend doing that on a random night. It might just seem weird, but in reality, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to do it, so we're going to do it, and I think that'll be fun. And like that'll be our second time doing it, but I think it's a really good way to get to know what the other person likes to do and try new things. And then after you do that for like 5 or 10 times, you'll find stuff that you both mutually like more. We'll be like, oh, I actually really enjoy doing that with you. We should do that again. And I think it'll bring more mutual activities together that you actually both like doing because you're just trying new stuff and like entering each other's worlds and seeing where that goes. Um, and I want to start doing this with friendships too, because I have a few like newer friends and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, what do you want to do? Or we just keep going to the same restaurant or, like, well, I'll do whatever you want to do kind of deal. So I think it's a cool way to just get to know people better and also just get you and others out of their comfort zone and trying new things. And I think everybody, it's always a good experience if you're trying something new. Doesn't really matter whether it's good or bad. So that's what I've been doing. And we're even going to implement it with my family. Like I find with my parents, we're always in their zone where it's like, oh, we just go to their house for dinner or we go to a restaurant for dinner. They like we're always going into their lives and doing what they want. They actually never come and do what we do. So they actually don't really know, I feel like, a lot about stuff that we're doing. So we want my brother and I, Jamie, would like to like start setting a day aside each month where we put a day together where maybe it's like we go and do a cold plunge and then go to one of our favorite like Whole Foods restaurants and just do something like outdoors in nature and go to a place that has like real healthy food that we enjoy. Um, and bring them with us to do that, to try something new. So yeah, we're going to kind of be implementing that everywhere over the next few months here and seeing how it goes. So yeah, I think it's a really good way for you to get to know your significant other better, to do the things you want, to do things they want, instead of just sitting around kind of doing random bullshit. So yeah, if you try it out, let me know. And I'll see you on the next solo episode.